fall the best time to buy real estate in Austin? We are going to go over that as well as an economic forecast of sorts in just a few seconds. So join us in just a minute. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Spyglass Realty with Ryan Rodenbeck and Matt Edwards. All right, we're back, guys. So in this segment, or this broadcast, what we're going to go over is how to buy, what is the best and worst time to buy a home in the Austin area. We're going to go over that in just a second. We're going to hit the news first. As always, I am Ryan Rodenbeck, the broker and owner of Spyglass Realty, and this is my associate, Matt Edwards. And we're going to talk about the news here in just a second. Kelly, we should be having some lines under there when we do that kind of stuff.
And we might be a little rusty today. It's been like 5 weeks. Ryan's been on vacation and took some time off. So
I spent some time in Costa Rica. We actually have started a service to match people in the U.S. with top producing agents in Costa Rica. We will have that in the comment section very shortly. Kelly, don't worry about rushing to do that, but before we get started, I want to let you know we're going to have about 8 episodes coming up in the next few weeks. We're skipping next week, so I'm going to be out of town again. However, the following week, we're going to be doing a broadcast on how to buy, renovate, and rent duplexes in Austin. So stay tuned. Be on the lookout for that 2 weeks from today. So before we go into our regular stuff, let's cover some news. And Matt, I know you dug up some interesting articles. Let's talk about that.
yeah, basically the housing numbers for July came out. So I kind of ran through those and pulled some data from it. And basically the rundown is for July, home prices hit record highs in the Austin metro. The median price was $320, and in the city it was $390. Mm-hmm. So sales are up 8.8% year over year in the month of July, for a total sales of 3,103 units, which is the highest since July of 2011.
Okay.
And all that plus new home construction is up, but it's not up enough to keep up with demand.
Sure.
So our months of inventory has dropped to 2.1.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the long story in short is housing prices are continuing to go up because there's more demand than there is supply. And that leads to kind of our topic today, which is why fall is the best time to buy a house. And we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, well, before we go into that, one thing I noticed, I pulled an article from MarketWatch.com, and we're listed as one of the top, or one of the 10 cities in the U.S. where they're showing our housing prices are flat. So I don't know if that is like some outdated material. I mean, this is only a few weeks old. What I can tell you is that what I've seen the pulse of the market, right? Yeah, on the lower price range, things are still hot, but they're slowing down, right? And this happens every year. I think that, next week, August numbers will be out in the beginning of September, week after rather, and I think you're going to see a slowdown.
Right, so that brings up a good point, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, where are the bulk of the purchases? What price point? So basically, in Austin, the bulk of homes purchased are between $250 and $500. Mm-hmm. They make up 54% of the sales. Mm-hmm. Anything above $500 makes up 19%, and then below $250 is 27%.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which there's not much below $250.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they still make 27% of the sales up. So.
Yeah, and then you're also going to see some, especially what we're seeing is in like Williamson County, Cedar Park, Round Rock, even those lower numbers, and I don't think we put anything together for that, but it's going to be slower there. So we're going to jump into our segment. We're going to be simulcasting on Instagram Live. Kelly, are we good with that?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're just joining us on Instagram, what we're going over here is what are the best times of the year to buy property in Austin. And also, if you're watching this on our Facebook, you can type the word agent in the comment section below so that you're subscribed for future broadcasts. In 2 weeks, we're going to be going over how to buy, renovate, and rent duplexes in Austin. And it's going to be a great episode. I am a huge fan of duplexes, and 6 of them. I've sold hundreds of duplexes in my career. So, but getting back to where we're at now, what we're going over is what is the best time to buy. And I have been studying this for years. And guess what? It's here. It's right now. Okay? Our team is focusing on buyers this time of year. We're also focusing on investors this time of year. I consider this time between now and October to be the sweet spot of what's the best time to buy, right? How are we looking on, before we get started on this, or everything's okay? We've had a lot of technical difficulties doing these broadcasts, but I think we're getting better at it. Sunny, if you're in the other room, Sunny's already dropped it, we're good. Okay, so moving right along, what I want to show you guys is a blog that we wrote in around November of 2015, and Kelly is going to share that on our screen. So scroll just a little bit up, Kelly, or down rather. Keep going, right about there. This is the total sales and average sold price in Austin. Okay, now this is from 2015 to the previous 8 years, right? Basically since the bust, if you will. Now, just so you know, we have pulled numbers for the years past this. We've got some graphs ready to update this page, but not much has changed. It looks basically the same. And what you'll see here is that January starts to go, straight up. The red bar is your total sales, okay? And then, is that a green bar? I can't see from here, but
gray.
The gray bar is your average sold price, okay? The peak of this, average sold price is right in there in June. But guess what? The properties that are closing in June have been contracted 30 to 45 days prior, okay? Sometimes maybe 60 days if something went wrong, there's a longer escrow, right? So, if you're selling your home, that tells you that you really don't want to start any earlier than January, okay? We think that the sweet spot is like between February and May. That's when we do the bulk of our sales, right? And I get investors that reach out to me, and you can switch it back to me right now if you want. That I get investors that reach out to me in February, March, April, May, and I tell them, guys, look, we can start looking, we can start educating on the market. But here's the deal: is that this is not the time to buy. The time to buy is June and after. Okay. And Matt, I know Matt has been working with a lot of our investors here at Spyglass Realty. One more thing. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and like if you like what you say. I always forget to do that. So Matt, tell the experience of like the properties that you're putting under contract now versus some of the ones that you've done in March. What is that like to you?
Multiple offers.
Yeah.
And prime example, and then they're not jumping on properties as quickly.
Yeah.
Just got a property under contract on Monday that was listed on the previous week. They probably should have gone under contract over the weekend, but as of Monday, did not have any offers. And then as soon as I put the offer in, they actually got 2 more offers.
Right.
We still got the property because of the way our offer was structured.
Yep.
And so we got the deal done, but 3 months ago, that wouldn't have lasted. It would have been gone. So I think, especially in the month of August, lots of people are on vacation, and then you got September, school starts, and then you get into the holidays. So, who knows why things start to, why they are the way they are. But in any event, it's less people looking.
Yeah.
Which is creating the deals that pop up, so there's less competition. Mm-hmm. And you can get them.
Gotcha. And that brings a good point. Like, you weren't even the highest offer, right? Mm-hmm. So and we're going to get more into this in a couple of weeks when we do the duplex stuff, okay? But what my point is that, we write offers for buyers like we would an investor, right? And Matt has bagged a lot. Pretty much everyone on our team bags a lot of deals because we treat the offer like we're in a multiple offer situation, even when we're not. Now, we're not quite as aggressive, okay, but we're treated in a multiple offer situation. Now, Kelly, I want you to go back to the page, and when I'm talking about writing underneath it, I meant write. You can put that on eCam. There are little drops that you can put on the screen. I don't know if you're doing that. Okay, so go back to the screen here. Okay, so what I want you to look at right here, this is average sales. Go down to pending right here. Okay, you'll see remember what I said, the graph above there, don't repeat where it is, but the graph above above this one, you saw that the peak was in June, right? But you see the pending properties are April, middle of April to May. That's where the pending. That's where these properties are contracted, and then it goes straight down. Right? This is a straight down graph. So what I would tell you about this is, go back up again. You'll see the sales in November and December go up, and that's because there are so less competition. There's less competition in terms of listings, and there's less competition in terms of buyers, right? The issue with this is that, and the reason I think that our sweet spot is between August and October is because not only are things going down, they're heading toward a down, volume of sales, as well as the prices are going down. What you're seeing on the left side of this graph is actually the average price goes down per year. And I'll put it like this: if you're ever trying to lose weight and you're checking your weight every day, okay? I don't know about you guys, but I know when I'm I do these 5-week stretches where I'm just trying to get ready for summer or vacation or whatever. If you weigh yourself in the morning and then you weigh yourself at night, there's at night and in the morning, right? That's what this is like, okay? Your sales volume and your average price range actually go down. But the sweet spot, as I was saying, is August and October, because there's less competition. People are starting to get nervous because maybe they haven't sold their home, but there's still inventory, right? And the reason there's not as much inventory and there's not as much action and not as much competition between November and December is because shit happens, right? People get involved with their family when it comes to starting with Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, right? This is why we sandbag a bunch of our listings during that period, right? And we sell property throughout the year. We're going to sell a whole lot more homes between now and December, but it's a different strategy when we sell a home in September, October than it is in January, February. We don't recommend that you test the market, right? And you can't look at your past sales and say, if I'm consulting a homeowner and they're looking at a home that's just like their home, sold for $275,000, right? But then that home sold in March, I'm not going to price it that way in September, So I think that's really important to realize is that if you're looking to buy a home and you're looking for the perfect time, it's arrived. And speaking of that, what I want you guys to do, if you're interested in getting our home buyer guide, which includes the 3 mistakes that home buyers make, Kelly is going to drop that link into the chat here in just a second, okay? If you're watching this on Instagram, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/SpyGuysRealty, and all of these links will be in here.
It's also linked in the description of our profile.
Or a bio, okay, yeah. If you're watching on Instagram, all this stuff is in our bio. Speaking of which, Kelly, go ahead and put a link to our past shows. We've got a ton of good information in there. We've got how to win offers in a multiple offer situation, when is the best time to sell a property a year, how to sell a home and to buy a home at the same time. Matt and I have been doing these shows for almost a year now. Some of our earlier stuff is a little rusty, some of this stuff is a little rusty, quite frankly, but it's been a big evolution for us. Matt, tell me about what's going on. I mean, you're out there in the market right now. What are you seeing when you're working with buyers and listings? Well, both of them actually.
You know, obviously, demand is still strong,
Yeah.
but it's not the feeding frenzy that it was, and that's
right.
really the big thing.
Yeah.
The big difference between now and, you know, the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, April and May. That's the big key, and people aren't jumping on things quite as fast.
Yeah.
Some properties they are if they're priced really aggressively.
Yeah.
But if they're just above aggressive, people aren't jumping on them. It doesn't mean you can't get the home for less.
Yeah.
It's just the buyers are still trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
But with, you know, the feeding frenzy slowing down, that provides an opportunity to go in there and say, okay, hey, you know, get an offer that's, you know, below list and actually get it.
Yeah.
And if you know a little bit about, you know, possibly the seller or whatnot, then you craft the offer for that, and then you lock it down.
And there's also, you know, a negotiation strategy too. Like, I mean, we're very successful at winning multiple offer situations. We're very successful at putting backup offers in.
And a key, we talk about writing offers a lot, and the one thing we don't really talk about that much, and I feel is, you know, just as important, is the agent actually selling themselves to the listing agent.
Yeah.
You know, every time I put in an offer, I follow up with a text message, a phone call,
Yeah.
and then I continue to call until I get that deal.
Yeah.
Because that shows the other agent that, you know, okay, they know what they're doing. They're going to be on top of things. If they're already doing this, closing will go smooth.
Yeah.
Because it's a multi-step process, and the more selling you can do, the better.
Yeah.
And if that agent feels comfortable with you before, you know, he sits down with the seller, he's going to recommend that offer, even if it's less money.
Yeah.
Which is what happened the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, I called that agent, had a conversation with him, texted back and forth, and got it done.
Yeah, there's strategy to this, right? And here's the thing, what you'll see is a lot of these listing agents, they don't even want to hear it, right? So, you know, if you can't get in touch with them on the phone, if you can't get in touch with them a text, then there's also how you formulate the offer and how you put that in terms on the email that's sent to them. Sonny, would you do me Kelly, would you do me a favor? I had a comment on there. It says, I had buyers in High Point last December that bought for thousands less than the appraised value. Where is it? Put it on the screen. Yeah. Patience and being willing to move in December can be very lucrative. So I can tell you some of the best deals I've had as an investor and working for investors have been during the holiday season. If you want to like really bag a good deal for an investment property, then stay home for Christmas, okay?
Sorry to interrupt, but
Sure.
talking about Christmas and, you know, investors buying properties, you're probably thinking, well, December. Well, a lot of properties that I see, like in December, are inherited or probate properties.
Yeah.
They have to sell. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is,
Yeah.
right? The person's passed away,
Yeah.
somebody's inherited the home or the court's in charge, that house is going on the market.
Yeah.
And with less competition, there's your opportunity.
Yeah, foreclosure properties, for instance, you know, they by the end of the year, right? And a lot of times what foreclosures do is they won't even, you know, if they're doing a foreclosure and someone's living in the house, they probably won't boot the tenant in from November and December because they don't, you know, for goodwill or whatnot. So I think that's very important. Another thing that when we're talking about the seasonality market is like, you know, Austin's a hot market, okay? But we're not as hot in 2018 as we were in 2015, okay? I don't study other markets like I do in Austin. However, what I have heard is that Dallas has become the new Austin, right? And, you know, I'm going to have an interview here pretty shortly with Jay Marks, who's a friend of mine in Dallas. And I doubt Jay's watching this, but Jay, if you are watching this, we haven't even talked about this yet, but you are having an interview with me in about 3 or 4 weeks, okay? So I'll be reaching out to you because I want to get a feel of what Dallas's market is doing, and I know that you got your finger on the pulse of the Dallas market. But my point in that is that, like, you know, we've been educating home sellers for a while. Yeah, we're in a hot market. Yeah, we look really good on paper, but we're not in the hottest market we've been in. Interest rates are rising, okay? And they're going to continue to rise, okay? That has to happen. That's good for the economy. We don't want to be in a market with 2.1 months worth of inventory, right? So, You know, I go back to the graph real quick. Just want to make sure we covered everything. Okay, so, you know, the only thing I would say that I think we may have missed here is that, you know, there is a part of November and December where this goes up. And I have friends around the country who are other realtors who just, you know, they start putting out there that, you know, December's a really good time to sell. I don't believe it, right? I mean, if you need to sell your home and you need to be gone, then do it, right? But if you can wait one more month, do it. There is a boost in December, but are you going to take the chance that you're going to be the one home that people are going to buy when we know that values go straight up starting in January, right? So I would just caution you about that. And one more thing, when we talk about November and December being a good time to buy, we're talking investment property, right? You know, the fact of the matter is that inventory shrinks a whole lot in November, December. And if I were out looking for my perfect house, I would start right now. I would have started about a month ago looking, maybe seeing a few houses. But I would be really serious about it right now. Because if you're a home seller in Austin and you've been on the market for, you know, 30 to 60 days, and the reason you've probably been on the market for 30 to 60 days is because you started at a price that was too high, okay? You're going to know that school has started this week, and you're going to start to get nervous. So, you know, look, this is all that I have. Do you have anything you want to add about that?
Not just speaking of that, there's two properties that I've been watching for finds that were just priced, to me, just way too high.
Yeah.
They've been on the market all summer.
Yep.
And now we're headed to the fall, so I'm just kind of waiting it out.
You can wait it out, or you can just throw that offer in right now. You know?
And that's very true.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like watching. If they do another price drop, we'll probably come in,
yeah,
you know, at the price that we have in mind, or we may decide to just go in and do it and just say, hey, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Because frankly, they're going to have a harder time selling it, and especially these homes are above $500,000, so rivals are already smaller.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of doing a waiting game right now.
Yeah, and if they don't take your offer, then you're like, look, get back to me, okay? We're going to be looking for something else, but if it doesn't work out, you know, we may still be in the game. So look, before we leave, I just want to say, if you're watching this Instagram, go into our profile. First of all, go to our profile, follow us. We've got a lot of great content. We're putting a lot of great pictures and videos out. Go to our profile and follow the link to our Spyglass page on Facebook. Okay, go to our YouTube page, subscribe for more videos. We're doing even more videos on YouTube than you're seeing here. Okay, and if you're watching this on Facebook, click the write the word agent in the comment to be subscribed to future broadcasts. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, put a comment in either one of these forums, and let us know if you have any questions about the housing market. We will see you in 2 weeks when we go over how to buy, renovate, and rent duplexes for maximum cash flow. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with Spyglass Realty with Ryan Rodenbeck and Matt Edwards.